Everyone, now we are going to start with the first chapter of your syllabus, which is revision of basics of Python. So now we come on to the introduction. What is Python? Python is a widely used general purpose high level programming language which was developed by Guido von Rossum in 1991. So it is basically used for software development, and in today's scenario it is mostly used for artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, this is one major area in which it is being used today. It is also used for web development on the server side and for system scripting also. Now we come on to the features of Python. All of you know that we have studied all these things in the previous year classes also. Now what is it? First of all, it is easy to use because of its simpler syntax. It is an interpreted language and code execution and interpretation are line by line. It is a cross-platform language, which means that it can run on multiple platforms like Linux, Macintosh, etc., Windows also with equal ease. It is an expressive language, which means that it requires less code to be written as compared to other languages because it itself expresses the purpose of the code. It means that as compared to other languages like C and C++, you can do the same task here within very less lines of code because of its simple syntax. Okay. Now completeness means what? It supports a wide range of libraries. Completeness means what? You want to do a particular task in Python, you can search a particular function for that or particular library or class for that very easily. It means completeness means that for every purpose we have some solution, we have some function in Python. This is no meaning of completeness. Now free and open source. This means that it is free of any license or any fee which has to be paid. Without paying any fees, without purchasing any license, you can freely download that, you can freely use that, you can also freely improve on that, and you can distribute your improved copy for others also. These are the features of Python which make it a very good language. Now the shortcomings of Python. What are the shortcomings? It has lesser libraries as compared to other languages like C++, Java, and .NET. It has lesser libraries, although it is complete, but it has, as compared to other languages, it has some less number of functions. It is slow language because why? Because it is interpreter based, and we all know that interpreter based languages are always little bit slower than compiler based languages. Why? Because in compiler based languages, what happens? The full source code is translated at once. That is why the execution becomes a bit fast as compared to the other languages, the interpreted languages, which are slightly slow as comparison to the compiler based languages. Now weak on type binding. It means that it is not necessary to declare the type of the variable in Python before using that. Okay, type checking is not very strong in Python. It means that whenever we are declaring any variable, we don't need to associate with a specific data type. If you want to use it for any other data type also, we can simply assign some other value to it. Okay, it not pinpoint on use of a single variable for different data type. Okay, if you use a single variable for a different data type, it will not raise any errors. This means that weak type binding. Okay. Now there are two ways to work. There are two modes to work in Python. First of all, it is interactive mode. Interactive mode. What is to be done? First of all, you have to install the our Python library. So how will you install that? We have to first download the python.exe file from the internet, then search for it wherever you have kept in whatever drive you have kept. First of all, go to that drive. After you have found that, and double click on it to start Python in interactive mode. So when you double click on that, you will get the screen as shown in here. The black screen will open up. Okay, then you close the screen and you go to the Python IDE. Okay, how do you go to Python IDE? For that, you have to go to start button, click on the start button, and go to all programs, then Python, then version. Python version will be specified there. Whatever version you have installed in your system, that will be displayed like Python 3.2, 3.3, and so on. Then go to the IDE. Okay, IDE will open a Python GUI for you. What will happen in the IDE? We have, it is like an IDE where you can develop your Python programs. You can also write your programs. You can also execute them in the Python shell. Okay, they provide the features for writing as well as executing your Python program. So it will open up the IDE. The shell will open up like this. You can see here. See here. This is your prompt. This is your prompt which is being displayed here. Can you see this, all of you? So this prompt is being displayed. It means that you have to, after this prompt, you have to start writing your commands. Okay. Now, see here. What will happen after you see this prompt? What you will do? After, you have to start typing your commands from here. For example, if you want to print any statement, then how will you write that? You can write simply print hello. Then, or you can write, if you want to display the result of any expression, just write the expression after the print statement, like print, then space, then 8 into 3. So what will happen? It will print 24 there. So print statement is used in Python for displaying any specific expression or message on the screen. So in this way, you can write your print statement after the prompt here, which is being displayed here, and you will get the desired output. Okay. Now, second mode is your script mode. This one, the mode which you have seen just now is the interactive mode. Interactive mode means what? That you are typing whatever instructions you want to execute them, you are typing after the prompt. But what happens, what is the disadvantage of this type of mode? The interactive mode has a very bad disadvantage, that you can't save your programs in your interactive mode. If you want to save them for later use also, if you want to create the file of your instruction, that you can't do so in interactive mode. For that, you have to open the second mode, which is your script mode. Script mode means what? First of all, you have to open editor window, and here you have to write all your programs in a single file, write all your instructions in a sequential manner, create a program file, just like we create in other IDEs for other languages also, like C and C++. Similarly, here also we create a separate program for all the instructions, and then what we do is we save it with the extension file name .py. .py stands for your Python language program. So whatever, every Python language program is saved with the .py extension here. Okay, the steps are given here. Click on start button and all programs and Python version. Go to Python version and go to ideally. Now in the ideally, we'll see the file menu there. Okay, in this picture you can see the file menu here. Okay, so if you click on the file menu, then you will go to the new option. We have to select the new option after going to file menu. Then when you select the new option, then this editor window will open. Okay, now you have to type your program there, and then click on file and then save option. When you click on the save option, the dialog box will open. Then you have to save the file with your file name .py extension. Okay, now the second step is run your program file. So how you run the program file? You click your ideally again, click the open command from the ideally file menu, and then select the file which you have already saved. Okay, after you open the file, then you have to, on the editor window, there is an option given there, run. Okay, go to the run menu, click on that, you will get the option run module. If you select the option run module, then what will happen? It will execute all the commands which we have given in your program file, and the output will display separately in the Python shell window. The Python shell window is separate, as we have seen in the interactive mode. So that in that Python shell, whatever program you have executed in your using your script mode, that will be the output will be shown in the properly in the shell mode, in the interactive mode, in the Python shell. Okay, I think it is clear to all of you. So now we come on to data handling. Okay, now most of the computer programming languages support data types. This language also supports data types, but what is the difference between other languages and this language? That here, while we are declaring any variable for the first time, we need not associate any particular data type with a variable. We don't have to associate a particular data type with any variable. Whenever we are declaring a variable, just we have to use the keyword where and then specify the variable name, and then assign the value, whatever type of value you want to assign to a variable. You can assign that value without thinking about the specific data type. That is why it is known as weak type checking or weak type binding. So Python is a language in which the type binding is very weak. That is why here we don't have to associate the data type, a variable, with a specific data type. We can assign any type of value in a variable. Okay, now a data type specifies which type of values a variable can store. Okay, a type function is used to determine a variable's type in Python. If you want to check the type of a variable, you can check that using the type function. Okay, now the types of data types in Python. Okay, the categories of data types are given below, like numbers, string, boolean, list, tuples, set, dictionaries. All these are different types of data types which are supported by Python. Okay, now so first of all, the number data type in Python, what is it used for? It is used to store numeric values. Okay, there are three types of numeric types. First is the integer type, which means those numbers which are not decimals, which are not fractions. Second is your floating point numbers or real numbers or decimal numbers. Okay, third one is your complex numbers. Complex numbers means those numbers which have two portions. One is the real number portion and one is the imaginary number portions. Okay, these are three numeric types which you can store in your Python program. Okay, so first of all, if you want to use any integer, then so what are integers? Actually, the integers are positive and negative numbers with no decimal point. Okay, like for example, here we are using three variables a, b, and c, and here we can store a. We are storing 100 in the variable a. We are storing -100 in b, and we are storing 1 into 20 in this expression. We are storing c. So what happens in c? This expression will be first evaluated. The result is 20. So this 20 will be stored in the variable which is named as c. So if you print these three variables, then what will happen? They will display the output as shown in the example given here. Okay. Now we come on to the type conversion of an integer. So int function is used for converting your type into any data type into the integer. So this function is very helpful because what happens whenever we are entering any number in your Python in your Python program, whenever after during execution a user wants to enter any number, then what will happen? That entered value will always be a string value. So you have to convert, before using that string value into your program, you have to convert into the integer value. So what will you use for that? We will use the integer function or the int function. See, all these are things which I have studied very in deep detail in your previous classes, but just for revision purpose, I am discussing these topics in a brisk manner so that you can get a very quick revision of all the topics. Okay, so now in this example, what is shown here? See, for example, a is equal to 101 is a string. Now b is equal to int a will convert this data type into the integer. If you use the int function on a, you have to pass a as an argument in this int function. So what will happen? This 101 is, which is a string value, will be converted into the numeric value, and this numeric value will now be stored into the variable b. Now again, c, we have written c is equal to int 122.4. So here what is this? This 122.4 is a float data type. Now this float data type will be converted to the integer, and now if you run this, if you print these two values, now we write print b and print c, then what happens? Print b will print you 101, which is now the numeric value of 101 string, and this 122.4 will be now be rounded off to the integer value, which is 122 in this case. Okay, so now we come on to the floating point numbers. So for floating point numbers, again we can simply assign these values to any type of variables. Okay, whether positive or negative, both type of numbers we can assign. Like here, minus 101.4 is a negative decimal number, plus 101.2 is a positive number. If you have stored in a, in b you have stored a negative number. Okay, similarly we can store expressions also here, and you can print them easily using either your script mode. Also you can write a program and see the output in your shell, or you can simply write the command in the shell, and you can see the output instantaneously by executing the commands there also. Okay, so this it is clear to all of you. Now type conversion of floating point numbers. Okay, so how do you convert it? By, in the case of integer, we are converted using the int function. In the case of floating point numbers, you have to you can convert any type to floating point number by using the float function. Okay, so any data type could be converted to floating point number by using the float function. Simply you have to pass the variable into it by either you pass the variable name into it as an argument, or you can pass the actual value also in the float function as an argument. So whatever you will pass, if you pass, like for example here we have passed a into the float a. If you see the second line here, first of all we have assigned the value 301.4, which is string here in a, and this string value, if you pass this argument, if you pass the variable into the float function, what will happen? This string data type will be converted into the float value. Okay, in the output also you can see when you print b, then what is displayed here? The 301.4 is a float value which has been converted from string value. Okay, in c, what we have passed? We have passed the integer value as 121. Integer 121 is an integer value. Now we want to convert this integer value into a float value. So what will happen? We can simply pass it by writing c is equal to float 121. So what will happen? This will be converted into 121.0, which is the converted decimal value. Okay. Now complex numbers. So complex numbers are what? Complex numbers are a combination of a real and imaginary part, as I've told you before also. So they are in the form of x plus yj, where x is the real part and y is the imaginary part. So if you see there are two ways of using this function. If you want to pass only one argument, then what will happen? One argument will be by default treated as the real part. For example, if you pass it like, if you use it like this, a is equal to complex 5, then complex 5 means what? You are passing 5 in complex function as an argument. So what will happen? It will treat this 5 as a real part, and the imaginary part will be taken as a 0. So it will give the output as 5 plus 0j. Okay, but if you pass it like this, if you pass two arguments into the complex function, so then what will do? The first argument will be treated as a real part, and the second argument will be treated as the imaginary part. Okay, now we come on to strings in Python. Okay, so what are strings? Strings are actually a sequence of characters. In Python, we can create a string using single quotes, either single quotes or double quotes. Okay, both the ways we can create a string. Like for example, here we have created a string named string as computer science. Computer science is a string here. We have stored a string in a variable which we have termed as str. So str is the name of the variable, and computer science is a string which we are storing it by using the assignment operator. Okay. Now see, if you want to print the string, then how we use that? First of all, within that single quotes, we are simply specifying the message string. This string and the hyphen is simply a message. Then after that, we have to write a comma, and then we will write the name of the variable whose value we want to print inside the parenthesis within the print statement. So what will happen? First, it will print the message str, then hyphen, and then this str variable which is holding the string computer science, then it will be printed. The first line of output will show you string str, then hyphen, then computer science. Okay. Now again, see this in the second one, what we are doing, we have to want to print the first character. Okay, the first character in the string is, see, str0 means what? You want to print the first character here. Okay, so what is the first character? You see the indexing here. Why we are writing str0 here? Because in strings or in any type of sequence, the indexing starts from 0. And in the forward direction, it starts from 0 to continues till n-1, where n is the size or the length of the sequence. Okay, so for example, if you have a sequence of 8 numbers or 8 letters or 8 elements, then what will happen? It will have the indexing from 0 to 7. So here str0 refers to the first element or the first character of the string, which is C in this case. So when you print that using the second statement, it will print here str0 hyphen then C, because C is actually the str0, which is the first element of your string. Okay. Similarly, now these are examples of string slicing. We have discussed string slicing in the previous classes also. What is there in string slicing? In string slicing, we want to create a substring of the given string. So you can create a substring by specifying the starting and the ending values, indexing values of the string. That is known as string slicing. Here, for example, in the third print statement here, what is there? str then 1:3. It means that we have to start the values from the second value, second index. First index means the second value of the string, second character in the string. Okay, and then we have to go on to the third value, which is the second one. See, in this case, I will again explain one point with you. See, in string slicing, the ending point is always excluded. Means, for example, here we have written 1:3. 1:3 means what? That here we want the index value 1 and we want the index value 2. Okay, we want to print a string from position 1 to 3. 1 to 3 means what? The ending value is always excluded. Excluded means what? That the third index will not be printed here. What will be printed? The first index, starting from the first index, and the second index will be printed in this case. Okay, so here you see the second index, the second character is what? It is O. And the third character is M, which is at the index 2. Okay, so first and second index means OM will be printed in the third case. Okay, I hope it is clear to you, all of you now. So in string slicing, what is there? The starting and the ending values of the indexes are given. The starting value is taken, included in the string slice, but the ending value is always excluded. Okay, like if you have the ending value is n, it will always be having only till n-1. Okay. Now again, the fourth is another example of string slicing. What is there here? See, str3 then colon, then we haven't specified any ending index here. So what will happen? This means that we have to start from the third index and we want to print all the remaining characters in the string up till the end. That is why we haven't specified any ending index here. So what will happen? Starting from the third index means the fourth character. Third index means the fourth character. The fourth character here is COMP. P is the fourth character here. So starting from the fourth character, PUTER, then space, then signs, the full string is being printed in this fourth case. So I hope this is clear to all of you now. Now again, str into 2. So I think you have studied this in your previous classes also. This star in the case of string is used as a replication operator. What it does, if you write str then into 2, str into 2 means what? Str, it is holding a string here. So that value will be repeated. The whole string will be repeated twice here. So here again, what happens? In this way, this computer science is replicated 2 times, because we have written here str into 2, str star 2. So here star, it is not a multiplication operator, it is rather a replication operator in the case of strings. Okay, if we have written str star 3, then it means that this computer science string will be repeated 3 times. Then the output would have been computer science, and computer science. That means if you written str star 3, then the same string will be replicated 3 number of times. Okay, and so on. Now again, the concatenation operator is being displayed in the last print example. Okay, here what is there? Yes is one string and str is another string. Str is the variable which is holding the computer science string. So we want to concatenate yes string into the computer science string. So what we will do is use the plus operator as the concatenation operator. So what does the plus operator do? Here it will concatenate the yes string with the str string, which is the computer science string. So here what output we are getting? We are getting the concatenated output in this case, in the last case, computer science, and then the yes string will be added at the end of the computer science string. Okay. Now we come on to the iteration through the string. So how do you iterate through a string? Like for example, we are having a string comp science. Comp sc is a string here. Now we can iterate through a string by using the for loops. Okay, so for loop is used. For loop is a type of loop which is used along with the in operator. In is a membership operator along with along with which we always use the for loop for iterating through a sequence of values. Okay, it could be a string also, it could be a list also, it could be a dictionary also, it could be also a tuple also. So any type of sequence can be iterated by using a for loop along with the in, which is a membership operator. How we use that? See, here I is a variable. What will I hold? For I in str, for I in str means what? See, str is having a sequence of values which are characters here, like for example C, then O, then M, then P. So what will happen? This I will start from the first character in the string, and it will hold every single character in the string one by one. For example, in the first iteration, what will happen? This I will hold C, which is the first character in the string at index 0. Okay. Then again, this because of this, when you print this value I, then what will happen? We'll get the output here C. Okay, because C is the first character in this str string. Okay, the second time what we will get? We will get the second character, which is O. Then third time we will get M. Then fourth time we'll get P, and so on. Okay, and in this way we can print. So how much will we continue? This loop will continue until and unless all the values in the sequence are exhausted. Means all the values in the sequence have ended. It will continue up till then. As soon as all the values are exhausted, the loop will automatically end. Okay. Now we in this video we will stop at this here only. We'll continue with the Boolean types in the next video. So thank you all of you.